TV event coverage presented by SCT Performance.
For those who caught the action at last year's NMCA World Finals on Street Legal TV, you'll recall a long race, terrible weather, and a lot of breakage. Well, what a difference a year makes. We take the race up here to St. Louis, the Gateway International Raceway. Records fall, record attendance, fantastic weekend all around here at Gateway International Raceway. So let's take a look what happened here in St. Louis. Coming into this race, there were a lot of eliminators that were not decided until we got into either the final rounds or semifinal rounds. Amazing stuff here on the track at St. Louis. One class that did have his championship decided before getting here was Pro Street, where Chris Rini actually clinched the championship in Michigan after putting out Joe Dunn. And on the track here in St. Louis, Rini actually took out Tony Williams in the final. Williams won this race in Memphis about 4 years ago, but this weekend it was Chris Rini. He had what he needed to take to win this race here at St. Louis, his third of the year. One class that was not decided coming into St. Louis was Mickey Thompson Super Street 10.5W, as Bill Lutz, Frank Mushaw, and Tony Nesbitt all had a shot at winning the title. On the racetrack here, Nick Scavo actually disposed of Mushaw in the final, and it was Scavo's first win as far as we can remember. Been a while for Nick. Another championship that was decided here happened in ARP Nostalgia Pro Street, where Kevin Parent had a good shot of winning the championship but went out early in eliminations, allowing Jeff Coletta to slide on in there, grab his second championship in 3 years. Now, in the final, Chuck DeMore, James Jarrett. It was Chuck grabbing his second win in a row in his 68 Mustang with a 721 win over Jarrett's 737. Dave Beeson, number one qualifier with a 716, but again, Beeson does not make it to the winner's circle. One of the biggest battles all season long was in Vortec Extreme Street between Jamie Stanton and Bill Travato. Here on the track, that championship was decided in the semifinals as the two of them raced each other, with Stanton grabbing a whole shot win over Travato and then winning the championship in that race. And in the final, Jamie Stanton in his Camaro knocks out Dan Kroll in his first final in NMCA with a 791 to an 825. And in Comp Cam's Pro Stock, Skip Baskin wound up with the championship a long time ago, but Greg Galaney actually gets his first win of the season after beating the boss here in St. Louis. In a BF Goodrich Tires Street Radio class, Mike Fertina beats Jay Canella on his way to his second championship in 3 years. And in Drag Racer Magazine Mean Street, another championship went down to the wire here in St. Louis, with Jeremy Gillum grabbing a championship after he defeats Alan Von Annen with a 996 to a 1001. For the fourth year in a row, the NMCA World Finals also included the LSX Shootout. This year, the fourth annual version of the GMPP LSX Shootout, with spectacular participation this year in all the classes, the biggest show yet for the gang at GMPP. In LSX Drag Radial, Stephen Faraday gets his second win in 3 years as he defeats Mark Carlisle at 781 to 825. LSX All Motor, Judson Massengill gets his second consecutive win after defeating Chris Fowler with an 892 to Fowler's 930 with a 7. In a new class this year, LSX Real Street, with Adam Preston against Keith Berry in the final, as Preston goes 817 to Berry's slowing 945. As you can see, one heck of a show here at St. Louis at Gateway International Raceway. Thanks for hanging with us all year long right here on Street Legal TV. We'll see you next year.